Actor.
Engineer.
Software engineer, or work in the digital engineering type of field.
Actress. I'm like famous.
A theatrical performer.
I think I wanted to be an archaeologist.
That's a good question. I do not know.
That's okay, that's okay. All throughout our youth, we are constantly asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Most of the time, the answer is, I don't know, or I have time, why do I have to choose now?
Elementary and middle school students often base their career goals on what they observe, usually following in the footsteps of people they are around. These can include their families, teachers, and even television characters on their favorite TV shows. When interviewing a couple of elementary and middle school students, we asked them what they wanted to be when they grew up. Some of the children's responses were reflected directly from what their parents or siblings do or want to do. This is very common for children because they are very young and often aspire to be like people they like and are frequently around. Others took interest in jobs that include activities that they enjoy doing.
Hello, my name is Cindy, and I am 7 years old. And when I grow up, I want to be a fashion designer. Hi, my name is Samantha. I am 9 years old, and I would like to be an artist when I grow up.
Hi, my name is Carly Camilleri. I am 10 years old, and when I grow up, I want to be a actor or a teacher.
Hi, I'm Dylan Martini and I'm 12 years old. When I grow up, I want to be an engineer.
My name is Miranda Schmidt, and when I grow up, I want to be an architect. I would like to be an architect because I like to draw and be creative, and it would be cool to do that when I'm older with designing houses and buildings.
When you were young, when I mean by young, I mean in elementary school or early middle school, what did you want to be when you grew up and why?
I was always really interested in history as a child because I was very nerdy, and I still am very nerdy. But I've kind of realized that I don't really want to do that as a kind of career choice.
I wanted to be an actress. I'm like famous. But then I realized I was really awkward in front of camera, so I decided against that. And then I wanted to be a doctor because I live in an Indian family and everyone's a doctor. And then I realized I didn't want to do that either. So.
What did you want to be when you grew up and why?
An archaeologist because I was really interested into like old bones and like history stuff.
When you were young, in about elementary school, early middle school, what did you want to be when you grew up and why?
Well, as a little boy, I was very obese. I was a chubby little kid. In 6th grade, I was 150 pounds. My mile time was 16 minutes. Every day, my sister told me I was a mistake. I came home every day and I just sat on my bed and I cried for hours. Like, I felt depressed and I just didn't know what to do with my life. I just felt I wasn't motivated and I didn't know what I should be doing with my life. So to answer your question, I didn't know what I wanted to be.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I went back and forth between a teacher and a doctor.
What did you want to be when you grew up and why?
When I was like really little, I remember telling my mom that I wanted to be like a pet walker. Like I wanted to walk pets, which is like kind of weird. And I also wanted to be a doctor, but I also wanted to be famous, but I didn't know how to be famous. I just thought like if I was a pet walker and a doctor, and I could also just be famous as a job, but that's not a job.
Right now, I'm kind of focusing, I would like to be a software engineer or work in the digital engineering type of field, not really working with mechanical stuff, but certainly an engineer.
That's a good question. I do not know.
That's okay, that's okay.
I don't really know what I want to be when I grow up. I think something with languages, like in translator or something like that.
Well, as I entered the high school, I started to realize that what brought me the most joy in life was making other people happy, making other people satisfied. You see, when I wake up every single morning, the only thing I think about is my future. My future wife, my 2 sons. We're out in a field, we're frolicking, we're having a picnic. My wife, beautiful smile on her face. And that right there, that epitomizes the perfection in my life. And that's the sole motivating factor to what I have right now. When I grow up, to answer your question, to help other people, I want to become a cardiothoracic surgeon. I just can't wait to see the smile on a mom's face when I cure her daughter's cardiac arrhythmia. I just can't wait to travel to the third world countries in Africa and give the native people the treatments they deserve. You see, it's not about the money. I don't care about that. It's not about the money. I want to help people and save their lives. The ability to take someone's precious life, get rid of the sickness, and create a new life. That right there is truly the best gift of life to me. And that is why I want to become a cardiothoracic surgeon.
Okay. Currently, what do you want to be when you grow up and why?
I want to be a bioengineer because I want to be able to help people without seeing people in pain because I don't like that. So it's a way for me to be able to cure people without directly seeing.
I want to be a theatrical performer because I like singing and I like acting, and I don't like dancing that much, but I do it anyway.
I work over the summer. I'm a counselor at a computer camp, summer tech computer camps over in Purchase College. We teach young kids how to work with computers and how to make code for computers and write programs. We also teach them how to make websites, and that's the thing I focus with. I teach kids how to make websites for themselves and how to kind of show them the ropes at the beginning of how to start doing that. And there's also the film and 3D modeling department, which is also interesting, but I'm more focused on the web design part of it.
I started dance kind of late. I started sophomore year with jazz, and now I take tap too. And I'm gonna keep taking stuff in college and before college, like in the summer. And I take acting and voice. I've taken voice for a few years, and acting I started this year, well, last year, but regularly this year. And I've done all 8 shows at Nanuet High School. What up? And yeah, it's been fun. It's been good.
When you were young, in about elementary school or early middle school, what did you want to be when you grew up?
So when I was in 6th grade, I remember the VASA students from the high school came over for a presentation, and they told us to write down what we wanted to be when we grew up on little slips of paper and try to crumple them up and try to throw them into a garbage can, and they all pretended that they were drugs and they were preventing us from achieving our dreams, and that was the lesson. But what I wrote on the piece of paper was that I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Currently, what do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up and graduate college, I want to be an accountant at a Big 4 accounting firm in the city. I want to graduate with my master's degree, and I also want to pass my CPA exam, which are both great things to have as an accountant. So preferably where I'll end up is working in the cyber risk practice in advisory. And if you want more specifics, I'll probably end up working for either PwC or Deloitte.
Do you currently have an occupation?
So over the summer, I have an internship lined up. I'm going to be starting the 31st of May. It's an accounting position at Vornado Real Estate Investment Trust in Paramus, New Jersey. That's where their headquarters is. And then in addition, I'm doing 2 leaderships for accounting firms. So those are 3-day events that I have to apply for during the school year. I'm going to be going to Atlanta, Georgia for PwC, and I'm going to be going to Westlake, Texas for Deloitte.
When you were young, in about elementary school, early middle school, what did you want to be when you grew up and why?
Back then I wanted to be a teacher, and I think it was because I had some really great, inspiring teachers in my younger years, and I think they made me think I wanted to do what they were doing. So, and I loved working with children as I grew up too. So I became a teacher right out of college, just the way I had thought I would, and I taught for 6 years before I had kids, and then I decided to stay home, and been home for 20 years since then.
It's good. Patient.
It is multifaceted. So I am a stay-at-home mom, also businesswoman. I have my own business, and I think I'm like a professional volunteer.
And
That's how I'd categorize.
And finally, were there any bumps on the way to where you are today? Like, did you have to make any decisions that made you get to where you are?
Sure, I had to actually sacrifice my career, essentially, because I decided to stay home with my kids when I had kids, and I've been home, so to speak, for 20 years, but I started my own business about 6.5 years ago. And so that's been good too, but it's a part-time type of business, so it was good to be able to do that. But sure, it's hard to give up what you thought you always wanted to be, you know, your entire life. And but I guess it's something I could go back to. But that's why I volunteer a lot in the schools and stuff, and still stay involved.
When you were young, what did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was in high school, and probably earlier, I always wanted to be a writer. I was particularly interested in being a raker, somebody who takes political things and uncovers them, that kind of information I'm sure you learned about. I worked for 15 years in advertising. I wanted to be a writer, so I went into the ad world. I studied English and communication, and it was a very competitive job to try to become a copywriter. So I was taking a job as an art buyer, which is somebody who handles photo shoots and gets in artwork, all kinds of retouching of that nature around art. And I ended up liking it a lot because it was the creative world and the business world. So I didn't pursue the writing thing, but that was what I had wanted to do. And then I had these 3 little boys, so I took a local job that was easy to be home.
Did you have any hardships in your career?
Yeah, I had been laid off, I think, twice. The economy, whenever the economy was bad, advertising takes a heavy hit with clients, and twice I had to look for new jobs. But at the time, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't as difficult as it might be today. I was able to get other work and, you know, freelance or whatever I had to do. But yeah, you know, and keeping a job, you know, you have to work long hours in the ad world, late nights, stuff like that.
Growing up allows people to explore professions in several different areas and to find out what they believe their future employment shall be. With a couple of adults that we interviewed, we see that they continue to pursue their childhood career dreams. After college and initial jobs, some factors of life decided whether or not they should continue with their profession. Family life is an important factor because something like having a kid can require a more lenient work schedule to properly care for the children. Other issues can lead to one being forced to find a new job if they cannot find a spot in their field first.
Hello, my name is Kira Schmidt, and when I was younger, I wanted to be a pediatrician, and now I want to be some sort of job in the medical field.
So my name is Nathaniel Muncie. As a kid, I wanted to be an aerospace engineer, but now I want to be a doctor or a biomedical engineer.
Hello, I'm Sean Lee. When I was younger, I wanted to be a paleontologist, and now I want to be a computer engineer.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and I wanted to be a chef when I was younger, but now I want to be a computer engineer.
Hi, my name is Michael Costello. I used to want to be a Major League Baseball player, but now I want to be an engineer.
Hi, my name is Brian Camilleri, and when I was younger, I wanted to grow up to be an artist. Currently, I would like to become a mechanical engineer.
Hi, I'm Tim Hartnagel, and when I was young, I wanted to be a paleontologist, but now I want to be a molecular scientist. Thank you for joining us, Nate. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions. First one. I gotta think about this.
Well, when I was young, I was a little...
When you were young, in about elementary school,
No.
what the hell, bro?
I think I wanted to be an archaeologist.
Brian's new girlfriend.
My only girlfriend ever.
Actually, Brian.
Where does this